Hello everybody, what's going on? This is McCray right here. I'm out here getting ready to go jogging and just finished stretching. And before I start jogging, I just want to talk about one topic that is a hot topic that people really need to address it and look at it from a larger perspective instead of looking at it from a woman's perspective, and that's domestic violence. And domestic violence is bad for anybody. Domestic violence is not just physical. Domestic violence is also verbal as well. And a lot of women, they're verbally abusive to men, especially black men. And I'm mainly more talking about African-American relationships. I'm not really talking about no other culture. And I'm not saying that other cultures, shouldn't. I'm not saying other cultures don't suffer behind domestic violence. But right now, I'm just mainly focused on African-American culture when it comes to domestic violence. It's never good for a man to put his hands on a woman. I do agree with that. However, you have a lot of women, they contribute to domestic violence. How they contribute, a lot of women, they have reckless mouths. And at the same time, a lot of women, that date a lot of black men, it's obviously they have a lot of pillow talk. So a lot of black men, they allow themselves to be vulnerable. And they express and expose a lot of imperfections to the black woman. And when she gets upset with him, then she actually reminds him of the things that he told her. So many words, she throws it back in his face. That contributes to a lot of arguments. That actually triggers inappropriate negative behaviors. So even though Department of Corrections don't look at how this is a problem from a legal standpoint, as far as a woman having a reckless mouth, throwing a man's faults and his imperfections in his face. So she don't see nothing wrong with that. And I believe I believe a lot of people, they look at it like that. They only really focus on, behaviors that can really get you locked up. But then a lot of people, they don't even take the time out to look at themselves anyway. So the only reason I'm actually talking about this because I was watching a TV show and a whole bunch of women came together to actually support one of their sisters because she had just experienced going through domestic violence. But one thing they didn't address is how she disrespected the man. And of course, her comments triggered a response. And this man ended up damaging her windows and stuff. He didn't put his hands on her. Thank God he didn't. However, I'm not justifying that he broke her glass windows out and, busted her car windows out and stuff like that. So they did the right thing by separating themselves from each other because they wasn't right for each other. It was a big age difference, which that plays stuff like that is important too. When you date somebody, the age difference is something to look at. So other than that, I'm not going to do a lot of talking about domestic violence, I was thinking about doing a 3-part series on it. So other than that, I'm just really just touching up on the subject regarding domestic violence. It's a lot to talk about. It's a lot. People have a lot of comments. This type of topic can go on for hours. And the only thing I'm saying is that people need to take a look at themselves, men and women. They need to take the part that they played in that. How domestic, what can actually trigger a domestic violence scenario or situation. A lot of times is communication is important. A lot of people don't know how to properly communicate. A lot of people don't have effective listening skills. So while one person is talking, the whole time you are already coming up what you want to say in your mind. And so you wait for this person to be quiet so you can go ahead and get your shit off. A lot of people do that, or people just cut each other off. So it's poor communication skills, poor listening skills. Also, insecurity has a lot to do with domestic violence too. Being insecure with who you are has a lot to do with domestic violence. So I'm definitely going to be talking about it a lot more. I'm not going to really talk about it as much today. But these things, situations like this, it does go on. People need to address it. People need to look at it for what it is. People need, especially have children involved. Finances can lead to domestic violence. Children, finances and children can lead to breakups, period. So it don't have to necessarily be domestic violence. However, these conversations are very important. I was in a domestic violence situation with me and my ex-wife, and we both put our hands on each other, and it was terrible. It was bad. It really was a bad situation, and that was 15, 16 years ago. And I feel bad about that because we had 2 children together, and at this point, only God can fix it. Only God can fix it at this point. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Well, anyway, I'm starting my YouTube channel all over again. It's been a minute since I've been on YouTube, and I really want to build a large fan base. I'm going to be talking about realistic things, relationships. I'm going to talk about Christianity. These topics are very important. Relationships, Christianity. I'm going to be offering tips on how to start a relationship with someone, an intimate relationship, the things to look for, the red flags that you need to focus on, and give tips on how a person can become whole, meaning that you should never be looking for your other half. You should be whole as an individual. You can't have 2 half people get together and become a whole person as far as 2 people. No, both people need to be whole. And, I will give tips on how a person can become whole. Mind, body, and soul. On that note, my name is Eric McCray. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Subscribe to it, because I definitely am back, and I'm definitely gonna be posting a lot more. Y'all have a good day, even though it's raining here in Ewen Township, New Jersey, Mercer County. Y'all take care.